So good afternoon. Thank you all for dialing in. Isaiah and I are super excited to have so many great applicants this year. And we've got some slides to go through. Isaiah, I don't know if you wanted to say hello.
Hello, everyone. As I said, we're so excited to have you all dialing in for the program, and we'd love to thank you all for all your support.
Great. So what we'll do today is we'll start off talking a little bit about Shauna. We want to make sure we honor Shauna Marie Sorrells. And then we're going to recognize our previous winners and then talk about this year's applicants and this year's winners. So super excited to start off with Shauna M. Sorrells, the inspiration for this entire program. We are truly honored today to have one of her closest friends join us and share some thoughts on Shauna. We want you all to know who Shauna was, all that she did, the amazing person that she will always be. So with that, I would love to pass it to Andrea Ellis.
Hello, welcome, and thank you for having me here. Yeah, I was looking at all those pictures and having some emotional responses there. But as you guys could see, you know, Shauna was this kind of beautiful badass, right? Mother, colleague, friend, all the nines. I mean, she was wonderful, and she was also an amazing cook, which we could all attest to. Like, it was just, she could make something out of nothing. It was the most beautiful thing. But I also wanted to add, you know, she was also a dark-skinned Black woman in America, right? And so as someone, I knew her since middle school. We've been friends since middle school, and our birthdays were the same day. So that immediately connected us, you know, for the years to come. But I watched over those years as somebody who, as beautiful as she was, to have people come at her and say things like, yeah, but, you know, you're beautiful for a dark-skinned girl, you know, those kind of things. And I watched how that had an impact on her, right? And her self-worth and her way of thinking about herself. And then to be able to be there as she grew into the badass that was always in her, even with those folks kind of creating this unnecessary pain for her in her life, how she used that to become the person that so many grew to know her as ultimately, which was this kind of wonderfully compassionate, safe space for so many people. And I think that those things that happened that caused her pain, she was able to translate into being a place of safety for those who were having their own challenges in life, right? And I think that when she passed, I had the benefit of holding her phone and getting lots of calls from people when they were finding out what was happening. And I got to hear so many people talk about their experiences with her, their love for her, her generosity of spirit. And that's what I constantly got, is that, you know, she was compassionate, she was tough, like she was going to hold you accountable, but it was with love. And so I think that I thank Liz and Isaiah for bringing this award to life and holding this space for her memory for the last 3 years, and look forward to it continuing to grow. But I think that as organizations that are benefiting from this award and from kind of Shauna's voice in it, I think that based on women and children, I understand that you guys are representing what her spirit stood for. And so I'm really excited to be a part of this and to see it come to fruition. And I think that she would be very honored and proud to have her name honored in this way. So thank you. Thank you for having me.
I guess I knew my mom. I guess my experience with her was just a tad different than Andrew's, because I didn't know her as my friend. I knew her as my mom, although we were friends in a way. One of the things that always comes to my memory when we think about her would be just watching things together on the couch, and she always tries to tell me some funny jokes. she certainly she had a nice sense of humor, which I think I appreciate more now, honestly. She was always a very caring and kind person, and someone who always wanted to help as many people as she could, which she expressed through her work. Her professional career was dedicated to helping those less fortunate herself. And as Andrea said, she was absolutely a really tough and badass person. And I really appreciate my dad and her for doing what they could to raise me into the person I am. I would not be who I am today without her. I certainly wouldn't be sitting here in Virginia Tech learning to be an engineer without her and my dad doing what they did for me. So for that, I will be forever thankful. And I will be forever thankful that me, Liz, and everyone else at D&D can do this to honor her memory, as well as to all those who participate in this event and help it live on. So thank you all.
That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So you're probably wondering who the heck I am in all this. I am actually Isaiah's stepmom. And Shauna became like a sister to me. We would spend all our holidays together. Lots of conversations over wine. She loved wine. She definitely taught me some cooking tricks and more wine. And she also taught me that mommies are magic. Any moms out there will relate to that. She was phenomenal at generosity and gift giving. We would do Secret Santa every Christmas, and somehow I think my husband might have rigged it, but we seem to get each other a lot as the two women, because we're got, all boys in our family. We've got 3 boys. And so she gave amazing gifts. And one of the best gifts she ever gave me was actually 2 years before she passed. So Isaiah has 2 younger brothers who are twins, Joshua and Caleb, who, if we were all together, they'd be sitting right next, we'd all be sitting together. That's how we did it the first couple of years. They're very engaged in this and adored Shauna very much. So the kids' first initial, Isaiah's I, J for Joshua, K for Caleb. So IJK, we often call them IJK. You getting IJK? Nope, I've got IJK. And so lots of texts and conversations with that. Shauna gave me a beautiful heart necklace that said, IJK, I'm one of the hearts. And then the other heart said, Mom, which brought tears to my eyes because it meant she truly saw me as a mom to all 3, not just J and K. And so when she passed, I added a 3rd heart that says Shauna Sorrells. So the 3 are always with me at all times. And that's why we have the 3 hearts as sort of our little logo for Shauna. She had the biggest heart of anyone you'll ever know. And she was brilliant. She was the national director of public housing for HUD. She was a national speaker. She went to the Clinton Foundation meeting. She was like a huge, well-known houser. And to this day, folks at HUD know her name, know all that she did. So she was an amazing national leader, truly making a difference in the world. We just were fortunate enough to know the silly, fun, very loving side of Shauna, but she was a badass professionally as well. So that is who we're honoring with this program. That is why we have the focus that we have. And so thank you for letting us share that. Hopefully that makes today a little bit more meaningful for people. So we will move right on to recognizing some of our previous winners. I think it's important that we keep encouraging anyone who's gone through this program. So Africa Matters and SciTech to You were both applicants the very first year of this program and made it all the way through as finalists, phenomenal organizations. And we actually continue to interact and support and work with them. I became really close with the director of the SciTech to You. Actually, we've met up several times. She's has roots, similar roots as our family. My husband's from Ghana, and as is she and her family. So we've had lots of wonderful connections. Africa Matters, obviously, in Africa is a big big deal for our family. We had recently traveled as a family with Shauna in 2019 before she passed. So those two organizations, super special. We gave each $1,000 in the first year of the program as a grant. And then the winner that first year was 4-3 Sisters addressing breast cancer, which also was really important in Shauna's life. Her mom actually died of breast cancer young. So for many reasons, all those 3 organizations, wonderful organizations, we've kept in touch with them, really impressed with the work that they've done with our small grants. So those are 2020. For 2021, we had these amazing, another group of applicants. We had these 2 as our finalists, with the 3rd finalist addressing really important issues to Shauna as well. And keeping in touch with them and seeing the progress that they made. So they each got $1,000 last year. And then last year's winner, we have with us today, Seeds of Literacy. We were super excited to give them the 10,000 grand prize last year. And so Carmen is going to share a little update on Seeds of Literacy.
Sure. So first, I'm very excited to be here tonight. We were so moved by this story. It was really impactful. We talked about it in our offices for weeks. We were aware of how much impacting families meant to all of you. So we focused on 2 components of our program that we thought would have the greatest impact on our students' families, addressing barriers to participation in our program and barriers to moving on to family sustaining work opportunities. So we focused first on our virtual classroom, which was born out of COVID, but allows many of our students who are moms to put parenting first and still participate. So they can log on to, they're not allowed to bring their children on site for safety reasons, but they're able to participate in the virtual classroom from home. And so they're able to tend to their children and still focus on their literacy goals, which we know is important. It also addresses the barrier of transportation, which is significant for many of our students, 88% of whom live below the federal poverty level. So that was really huge door opening opportunity to provide access to education for women, many of whom are parents. And then the second was a connections initiative that we started to focus on helping our students. They come to us with dreams and goals, and we know that our goal was to provide that education, but we wanted to give them an extra push in helping them transition into post-secondary education and training or into the workforce. So we started an effort to reach out to all of our graduates and many of our section passers, folks who passed sections of the high school equivalency exams, to really help them think about what those next steps are, whether that was exploring new careers or applying for short-term training programs or applying for colleges and universities, and helping them get into employment and connect with workforce development partners in our community. We worked with local colleges and universities who helped us with the outreach, and just really tried to make an all-around effort to support our students as they focus on transitioning, because this program is a bridge for them from what their dreams are to that reality. And so we were very, very honored to be even considered for this award, but very grateful to win it and to be able to use it to create additional opportunities for the students in our program who are parenting as well.
Awesome. Thank you for that. That's so great to hear. So for this year, we wanted to first recognize the applicants and make sure you have their websites, and we're going to send this out to everyone. And if you look in the chat box, my colleagues have been posting the links for a lot of these organizations, so you could make donations. And seriously, even $5, $10, every little bit makes a difference. And so we're trying to encourage more giving through this program. But these are some of the amazing organizations that applied this year, addressing a range of issues, all really important to making a difference in the world and important to Shauna. So thank you all for applying. We were super, super impressed. Every year we see stronger and stronger applications. So that's really exciting to see. We wanted to do some special recognition of organizations that almost were semifinalists and finalists. And that is this list here. So this is sort of our special recognition category. A lot of great organizations, Action in Ohio, Hard-Headed Women, On Track Education, Pregnant with Possibilities Resource Center, and Brown Girls, all really good organizations. So again, I really encourage you to take a look. We've also got websites in their website link, on our website, on the Shauna M. Sorrells website. So you can find them there. And again, if you want to donate, volunteer, get involved, or maybe there's opportunities there's some nonprofits on this call today that if they work together, they could do something great. So whatever it is, we definitely want to be supportive. The next slide shows our semifinalists, Educational and Charitable Foundation, Islamic Leadership Organization, I Am Queen, love that title, We Code KC. And We Code KC is actually in Kansas City, Missouri, which is where Shauna is from. So there's a nice little connection there. But all these organizations are awesome, really important organizations. Again, encourage donations, volunteering, helping out, getting involved, what have you. And so our next slide has our finalists. And so what we're going to do is have each organization just say a little bit about what they're doing before Isaiah will announce the winner. So just going in alphabetical order, we will start with Arch.
Good evening, good afternoon. My name is Wendy Tarr. I'm the Executive Director for Arch, accompanying returning citizens with hope. I'm just really honored to be here. All of those organizations that have applied, so many of them are just wonderful. So this is just a great program that y'all are doing to give opportunities to more nonprofits. But our organization, we are led by a bunch of badass women, I will say that, and who like wine. And so I feel a strong affinity here, and food. So no, our organization, we reach into prisons and go into the institutions and help with pre-release, workforce development, reentry planning. We go to the Ohio Reformatory for Women. We go to a few of the community-based correctional facilities in Marysville and in Franklin County. We go to Ross Correctional. We have a couple of different places that we go, but our organization is really focusing a lot this as we've sort of been developing on establishing greater security and support for the women who are returning to our community. And so the thing that we sort of focused on with this application was an opportunity that we've been developing to open a house for women who are returning home for transitional support, where we can be working with them and not have to be hitting that difficult phase where they're housing instability, where we're having to work with all these other agencies to figure things out, but to have a safe place where women can go that would also be a place where their children can be. And so we have some wonderful partners, and it's been a dream of our team, and I feel like it all just kind of came together because some properties are being purchased for partnership with us, and so we applied for this grant because it would allow us to really support that whole process and growth in our organization. So so we do a lot of coalition building, we do advocacy, leadership development, a whole host of things, but I just really appreciate the opportunity to share and to be considered for this award.
Thank you so much. That was so great to hear from you, Wendy. So next in alphabetical order is the ICE Mentors organization.
Hey, good evening, everyone. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Ms. Sorrells sounds like she was just an amazing, amazing woman. Even after reading about her and kind of seeing about her legacy, she definitely was bad. She did a lot of things, very, very impactful. But I could not be more excited about applying for this opportunity. So thank you all. Thank you, GTG Consulting, to you all here. Image Character Etiquette, or ICE Mentors, is the name of our organization. And we are a program that provides youth with practical lessons and positive examples. We want to give them real world examples of and interactions of mentors, right? So they can learn how to navigate life. And we really spend a lot of time with our youth so they can understand how to live purposeful lives through the development of skills, talents, positive character, self-improvement, and leadership. One big thing that's extremely important to us is families, right? We think about the health and the strength of families, and so that our youth have a strong lens to see themselves differently through the future. And just a little bit highlighting, I want to connect the dots to why this is really, really a great connection to the Sorrells Grant. But some of the things that we do are school programs. We do all-year school programs with public schools and charter schools here locally in the city of Columbus. We do community leadership programs, mentorship programs, and youth-focused marketing and event programs. So some programs that we do just to make sure that youth programs are served to the best capacity. But one thing that I really love is some of our signature programs, such as our Ballers Conference, which teaches youth fun. We call it Ballers. It used to be a phrase. It's really outdated when you come think about it. When you call what is a baller, a shot caller, right? The kids are like baller, but they understand baller because it has a really cool branded image that we give them. But it's really just replacing, hey, what does it mean to be financial literate, right? And so we say, hey, you want to be a baller, you need to really understand what that really means. And that means being financially literate. And the other thing that I really love that's a strong connection to Ms. Sorrells is go to Mike. I want to go back to a word that I think real quickly that Andrea said a little bit earlier. They would say things like, it's really cool you're doing really good for a Black woman or a dark-skinned woman, right? Our program, in terms of what we do, and particularly the Aaron Pink program underneath ICE Mentors, really addresses this. We want our young girls to know what it's like to be a girl in today's society, inspiring girls to set standards and expectations that align with their values and morals, or really drive home the self-confidence, drive home their standards, drive home their self-worth, and really skills, right? Leading from the front, leading in the classrooms, leading in all opportunities that come their way. We want them to be very strong and be able to own the stage, not just have a seat at the table, but own the table. And so when we look at our leadership program and development, those are things that are really registered with us. And when we look at one of our signature events, go to Mike, it's not a competition. We actually went out a large theater here in the city of Columbus. And actually, we just had an event in October and it sold out completely. This is not a competition. It's all about celebrating girlhood. We wanted them to have a stage to be able to express themselves with song, with dance. We had an all-girl band there who kind of did some of the background music, DJ, and it was just an amazing experience. We've done it over 8 years just to celebrate girlhood. So I thought that was something that definitely would resonate with Ms. Sorrells in terms of what we're doing for our youth, and definitely particularly for young girls, particularly African-American girls in the city, as well as with work we do with boys, but just to empower them, to lead them to do better. But again, thank you for this opportunity, and we could not be more grateful to apply.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And last but not least, we have the Summit County CASA program.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. Wow, I'm just, blown away by all of this. I'm honored and humbled and kind of proud to be in this group, really, and hearing all the good work that's out there. Sometimes I think as a smaller nonprofit, we think we're an island, but then we hear all these other good stories and it just kind of re-energizes you, right? I've been working in child welfare for over 30 years. So, sometimes you just have those days where you're like, are we really making a difference? So thank you for validating that we are. And if we could be half the person that Shauna was, then we're going to be good, right? So CASA, it's an acronym for Court Appointed Special Advocates. So we actually work with community trained volunteers who serve as guardian ad litems for abused and neglected kids. So in Summit County, we serve between 800 and 1,100 kids every year. We have close to 200 volunteers just here in Summit County. We all are aware of the disproportionality in child welfare in terms of the number of youth coming through. And the majority of our CASA volunteers are white middle-aged women. And we joke, but it's true that I think sometimes our youth are like, oh, great, here comes another white middle-aged woman telling me, what's best for me in my life. So one of the things that we really try to focus on is our CASA volunteers, before they become sworn in by our judge, they have to have 30 hours of what we call pre-service training, and it just really serves as a foundation But after that, they have to have 12 hours of ongoing training. And one of the things that we've been really focusing on is health equity and social determinants of health. So we really wrote this grant so that we could focus more on the impact of racism and trauma on Black women and their children. And in doing the research on this, we found a really great training in terms of understanding Black grief, which was really interesting for me. And again, I think really educational for our CASA volunteers. So we're really excited to be here. I can't wait to hear who the winner is. And am I wrong, or are you guys both from the other organizations from Ohio as well? Or yes? Wow. Oh, this is great. So we definitely should probably meet midway and do a little bit of celebration with wine and food and all of those kind of things. So if you're in, let me know. That would be great. So Ohio is representing here, and that's great to know. So again, thank you. I'm rambling, but thank you for allowing us to be part of this.
Oh my gosh, thank you. It's so great. And yes, Ohio dominated this year's application process. So go Ohio. G2G is in Cleveland and Columbus. So that might be why we have a lot of Ohio folks, but there's just awesome stuff happening in Ohio. So, so all great. So what I'd love to do is turn it over to Isaiah to announce the winner, and then have the winner come back on and just share some thoughts on how you'll spend the funds, or I don't know, whatever you'd like to say. So with that, drum roll, Isaiah, it is all on you.
I am proud to announce the winner for this year's Shauna M. Sorrells Award would be the Arch Program.
Hey, where's my little emoji?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate this. So I'm kind of amazed now, like all of this, but we're so grateful. This, like I was sharing before, we were working on expanding housing. And so our intention with these dollars is to utilize it to help women and women who are trying to get their children back after incarceration, or women who are transitioning and getting work, but can't, like, we don't want to see them have to come out of prison and go to the shelter, and there's lots of different ways that people get released from prison, and some of them come with no supervision, no halfway house, no nothing like that. And so we really are working in order to plan pre-release and to try to work on all of this. And so really what this will do for us, for the women that we're serving, for the families that we're touching, is to create a safe transitional spot while we work to really handle all of those ancillary needs that people have around, restabilizing themselves and into the community and reunifying with their family. So I just honestly look forward to next year when we're on here, being able to show you pictures and tell some stories and all of this. We anticipate that we'll be putting our first women into this one house that we're starting with in December, but we do have some other properties we're looking at down the line and other people that really want to partner with us. So what I want to share just with you all who, helped to select us, and for Shauna and for her memory, this is really helping us in a very pivotal sort of transitional space for our organization to really expand and to reach into another area that we've really known we've been called to do. And so I'm just extremely grateful for this opportunity, and I can't wait to show. I'm happy to take some people through the property that we're at. It's 9 bedrooms. It's very exciting. It's connected to a lot of resources. So we look forward to sharing more after some time has passed. So thank you very, very much. And for anybody who's watching this who voted for us, we appreciate our support base, and y'all mean so much to us.
Aw, well, congratulations. And just to be clear, so we have a sort of a committee that Isaiah leads that determines the finalists, the semifinalists, a special recognition. And any of the 3 finalists, we are all happy whichever one wins. We're totally happy. So we leave it up to the voters at that point. We put it online, and then it's all about getting your supporters, your volunteers, and hopefully it's a way to raise your profile and help build up more ways to raise money for your organization. So that's the model. But everyone's a winner. So the 2 finalists are each getting $1,000. So you each will get something. Yes, we think all of you are doing such important work. And then all these semifinalists will get 500 each. So a small donation, but something, because we think you're all winners and you're all doing such critical work. So thank you, thank you, thank you. My role now is to just close us out. And I think Shauna's got some great quotes to close us out with. Make a difference in your community. Something she said back in 2016. And then this life is all there is. Make the most of it. Give, get, be. Give more than you get. Get what you need. Be happy. So with that, keep it together. If you did not win and you're feeling like, why didn't we, will go over that. We have a webinar planned for January 18th at 12 o'clock. We will discuss the criteria, how we prioritize and finalize, and you are welcome to ask questions. It'll be very interactive. We'll also share some insights about how nonprofits can access government funding. That is our expertise at G2G, and we want to make sure that you know there are lots of opportunities for you to get funding beyond Shauna M. Sorrells. And with that, just want to say thank you all so much. We really appreciate all that you're doing and keeping Shauna's legacy alive and thriving. So thank you, and be well.
Thank you.
So
It's great. It's nice meeting everybody.
Congratulations,
Have a great
Wendy.
Thanksgiving season.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.